You know, the smartphone that's in your pocket right now, it's on the edge of a pretty massive transformation. It's evolving from a tool that you have to command into something, well, something a lot smarter, a proactive partner. Let's dig into how this is actually happening.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Imagine a device that isn't just sitting there waiting for you to tap on it, but is actively anticipating what you're going to need next. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's the core idea that's driving the whole next generation of personal tech.
And the poster child for this whole shift is the Google Pixel 10 Pro. But look, this isn't just about making a faster phone with a slightly better camera. No way. This is a complete rethink of what a phone is even for. It's about turning it into a proactive agent that's designed to understand your world, your context, and actually act on it.
So to really get how this all works, we're going to start with the new era of AI that this whole thing represents. Then we'll break it down into the three big pillars that make it all possible: the custom chip, this revolutionary new algorithm, and the software that holds it all together. And then finally, we'll talk about what this proactive agent experience actually feels like day to day.
Okay, first up, pillar number one, the hardware, the brains of the operation. Because at the very heart of all this new intelligence is a piece of silicon that was designed from the ground up, specifically for AI. Say hello to the Tensor G5. Now, this isn't some off-the-shelf processor that Google just bought. It's their first ever fully custom-designed chip. They're moving away from their old designs, and that is a huge strategic pivot for the company. This custom brain is the foundation for literally everything else we're about to talk about. And when you look at the specs, you can see exactly what they were thinking. It's built on TSMC's crazy advanced 3nm process. But the G5 isn't just about raw speed. It's been engineered for thermal stability, which means it can run really complicated AI stuff for a long time without melting. It's literally built to run powerful models like Gemini Nano right there on your device, all while giving you a really nice CPU performance bump. And this quote it nails Google's whole philosophy here. They are deliberately giving up on winning those vanity benchmark scores, the ones that look good on a chart. And instead, they're focused on the real-world utility of smart, sustained, proactive AI. That trade-off, it defines this entire device. So you have all this power, but how do you get these massive AI models to actually fit on a phone without just, killing the battery in 5 minutes? Well, let's move on to pillar 2 and check out the algorithmic magic trick that makes this whole thing possible.
So, for years, AI on your phone has been held back by this problem called the memory wall. It's pretty simple, really. The huge AI models that do incredible things in the cloud need a massive amount of memory, way more than a smartphone could ever handle. This has always been the biggest bottleneck.
The solution? It's an algorithm called TurboQuant, and it is a total breakthrough in something called vector compression. It basically just smashes right through that memory wall, and that allows these huge, powerful models to run super efficiently, even inside the tight space of a phone.
So how does it work? It's this brilliant two-step process. First, something called PolarQuant takes all this complex data and basically converts it into a much simpler system, just a radius and an angle. This clever trick gets rid of a ton of the data overhead that bogs down other methods. Then, a second step, called the QJL transform, acts like this tiny 1-bit error checker, just to make sure that the compressed information stays incredibly accurate to the original.
The first result of this is kind of staggering. You get a 6-fold reduction in the amount of memory the AI model's cache needs. That right there is the key to cramming these powerful models onto the phone in the first place.
And the second benefit? Well, because all that data is so much smaller, the chip can process it up to 8 times faster, so you get less memory usage and more speed. It's the algorithm that unlocks all that potential we saw in the hardware.
Okay, so we've got the brain and we've got the magic trick. Now it's time for pillar 3, the software that connects it all together, kind of like the device's central nervous system. This is LightTRL. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a universal translator, but for AI. It creates this software layer that lets any AI model, doesn't matter if it's from Google or some third-party developer, talk seamlessly with any part of that Tensor G5 chip, whether it's the CPU, the GPU, or that specialized neural processing unit.
And what's cool is that LightArt is super flexible. App developers can use something called ahead-of-time, or AOT, compilation. That lets them pre-optimize their AI models just for the Pixel 10 Pro's hardware, which means crazy fast app launches. Or they can use on-device compilation. That makes sure their AI features work great across the whole Android ecosystem, which gives them maximum reach. It's the best of both worlds.
So this powerful software stack is what enables a whole bunch of new, really smart features in Android 16. You get a notification organizer that uses AI to finally tame your alerts. The job scheduler intelligently juggles background AI tasks to save your battery. And then there are new tools for developers, and even a new expressive UI that makes the whole phone feel buttery smooth.
So we have the custom chip, the efficiency algorithm, and the unified software. Now let's see what happens when you actually bring all three pillars together. What does this proactive experience really feel like?
Because the convergence of these three pillars, that's where the magic really happens. It isn't just one single thing. It's the deep integration of all three that lets the phone move beyond just taking orders and start actually anticipating what you're going to do next.
Here are a couple of perfect examples. With a feature called Magic Queue, if you dial an airline, your phone automatically just pops your flight details up on the call screen, pulled right from your email, no more frantic searching. Or with Gemini Live, you can have a natural back-and-forth conversation with the AI and even use your camera to, say, show it a room and ask for ideas on how to rearrange the furniture.
And this whole architecture isn't just for Google's own party tricks. It's powerful enough to run some of the most advanced AI models out there right on the device, from Google's Gemini Pro to Anthropic's Claude Opus. What that means is developers can bring true data center-level intelligence, like expert reasoning or analyzing huge documents, directly into their apps. And that creates even more powerful, proactive experiences right there on your phone.
So here's the crucial takeaway. The Pixel 10 Pro, it isn't just another yearly phone upgrade. It is the physical blueprint for a future where our devices are no longer just passive tools, but are active, intelligent partners in our day-to-day lives.
And all of this leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about. As this technology keeps getting better and our devices become true proactive agents, where do we draw that line? Where does the tool that you control end and the assistant that guides you begin?